episode of Deep to Right here on Russo's Playbook. As always, it's hosted by John and myself. How you doing tonight, John?
What's going on, Nick? What's going on, everybody?
Dude, I'm ready to jump into some of these headlines. We got a lot to talk about. But before we start, you can catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can read up on our blogs and catch up on the episodes at russosplaybook.com. And you can follow our socials at Russo's Playbook. But what's up? Let's jump right into it with the news and notes.
Yes, sir, man. It's been a packed week. It's been a week of a lot of bullshit, a lot of hearsay, a lot of he said, she said. First, let's get it out of the way. Gerrit Cole put himself in the worst position I could imagine when being interviewed, I think, post-game yesterday or 2 nights ago. Reporter asked flat out, have you ever used spider tack? Gerrit Cole then went on to go, well, I don't know how to answer that question, was what Gerrit Cole, I bet. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now.
That's spot on. That is spot on.
Dude, I can't. And listen, I get why he didn't just say yes. And I get why he didn't say no. Hey, he didn't make a liar out of himself, first of all. I mean, he made himself look like an asshole. He didn't make a liar out of himself. And I get that you can't say yes, you've ever used it, because it's a sensitive thing right now. It's a sensitive time period. They weren't necessarily promoting it, but they weren't punishing it either. Yeah. You know, so that's a great line. It's a kind of a dickhead question by the reporter.
It is.
But hey, somebody's got to ask the tough questions, and Gerrit Cole had no idea. You got to be prepared for that question if you're Gerrit Cole.
That's the thing. There's no way the Yankees PR staff sent him out there not prepping him for that question.
No, dude. He said that was. I must have watched that thing 3-4 times back, and it got funnier every single time I watched it.
Yeah, and the way I saw it and how his response was, to me, it seemed like, I don't want to accuse anybody, but it seemed like the Yankees PR told him to really say like deny it and lie about it, and he just couldn't do it. So he's stuttering. A lot of people, so it's like, I don't know. He was in a tough spot, and he shouldn't be the face of this right now. Like,
I completely agree. I think it's unfair that Trevor Bauer and Gerrit Cole are getting most of the heat for this. Josh Donaldson came out. I like Josh Donaldson, but for him to come out the other night and go, well, it's pretty funny how Gerrit Cole's spin rates dropped. Listen, we get it, but to call out these all-star pitchers because these two are the faces, some of the biggest faces of the league on the pitcher side, that's wrong. And Gerrit Cole answered it tonight by striking Josh Donaldson out. So how's that, Josh? Suck it. Go somewhere. Also with your loud mouth. Like, you don't got to call Gerrit out when there's a bunch of pitchers in the league doing it. We all know there are.
Dude, everybody's doing it at this point. And it goes back to when they first started baseball. I mean, everybody just wanted to find a better grip, even in the hot days. And you're sweating. Yeah. You need a grip to have control so you're not hitting people in the dome with it.
That's a lot of people have said that. A lot of people said after the MLB changed it away from the juice balls and they turned it into more of a cue ball, that was a big problem that they were having. And I said this on Twitter as soon as this news came out. And Pete Alonso today said, he said that not only do they manipulate the baseballs, he said it's a fact that the players know it and that it's even based off of the free agency class.
See, that's wild statements right there.
Wild state. He said when he was asked if this is something about the players that they talk about and believe in, Alonso replied, "Oh no, that's a fact." Mm-hmm. He went on to say in 2019, there was a huge class of free agent pitchers, and then there's quote unquote the juice balls. And then 2020 was a strange year with the COVID season, but now that we're back to playing in a regular season with a ton of shortstops or position players that are going to be paid a lot of money, like high caliber players, I mean, yeah, that's not a coincidence. It's definitely something that they do. Wild statement, Alonso.
The worst part is it makes sense, but you can't say facts unless you bring out the facts.
Yeah, you have to have that shit to bring it up.
Exactly. Like it makes sense, and I believe it 100% is what happened.
I believe it.
But you got to have something to show for it. You can't just say it.
And then when you say, "Yo, there are other players talk about it," and then when you're asked, I don't think it happened today, but if when come the future, reporters go, "Well, who are these other players?" You go, "Oh, I can't talk about it." That makes you look like the asshole.
100%. And not only
I,
that, what's up? I mean, listen, I get the whole like if you think it's unfair as a batter and you want them to stop, have an in-house discussion with your union. You
yeah,
guys are all a team. You're all together on this. Why would you sit here and call out each other knowing you're gonna damn well go into that meeting whenever they meet and discuss this now that you just called them out in front of everybody for absolutely no
yeah,
and not
I,
sorry to rant a little bit. Not
no,
only to touch on that, but you got Jacob deGrom, who has shown no signs of actually doing anything wrong. And he's been a great pitcher. And now he's going to get accused of doing it just because he's been brilliant.
there was one dude on Twitter who said something, and every single Mets player came out and went, "Shut your mouth."
Like, I don't know, man. It's a sticky situation, literally.
No pun intended. No, the funniest thing about all this to me is that everybody knows DeGrom doesn't use any foreign substance. He's the cleanest of the clean. And then even if Gerrit Cole, Trevor Bauer, the rest of these top guys find out that they have been and they start to drop, they're just going to separate themselves from the GOAT that much more. I mean, he really is that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And
Nobody can touch.
what's up?
No, I was just going to say, nobody can touch what he's doing. It's incredible, dude. Every time he pitches is must-watch television.
Yeah. It's DeGrom and then everybody else.
Yeah, and it's not even close.
Yeah. And even with that class, like say if DeGrom dropped a little bit, say he was using something and he dropped a little bit, he's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not dropping to where now he's nothing. And same with Gerrit Cole. Even if he has been using stuff and it helped him out, he's not dropping to just the bottom of the list now.
No, he's still going to be the second best pitcher in the league.
Exactly. So it's really affecting that much. Like
it's semantics to me. I think it's all a bunch of drama right now. I can see why batters want 3,000 RPMs on a curveball. It's nuts.
yeah.
That's nuts. So I get it. But I also understand and agree with Pete Alonso. Stop messing with the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, you're allowed the rosin bag, nothing else.
Yep.
You get this ball every year, and if we're going to change it next year, we're going to tell you, and we're going to tell you what we did to it.
Exactly, dude. That's the whole thing. How do you operate a game and not tell the people that are playing the game and doing everything and using everything that you're supplying them and not tell them you're changing everything?
Mind blown. And then get mad when they try and get the upper hand.
Exactly, bro. MLB is a mess right now.
I feel bad for hitters because pitchers get the foreign substance on their side, they get the analytics on their side, and batters go up and they're like, "Oh, fuck me, man. And hopefully I can make contact."
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. And there should be a limit to what you can use. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
you're letting everybody just all right, do as you please, don't get caught. And nobody's getting caught because nobody was saying nothing because nobody knows what it is.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy in MLB right now.
It's nuts. Dude, you want to talk about nuts? Brian Hayes hit a smacker of a home run last night, rounded the bases, and forgot to touch first base. Called back.
Bruh.
He's out.
Bruh.
Bruh is right.
First base.
Hang on. Nick, have you ever heard of that happening, Luke, the past 10 years?
I don't know, man. I'd have to go back and look.
Nick, how about twice on one night? Twice in one night. Bobby Witt Jr. was going. Let's make something clear. Brian Hayes did not touch first base. It was clear he missed that shit by like 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Witt Jr., who is going to mark this, cut the tape, keep the receipt. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be a problem in this league.
Yep.
He's coming hot. He hit in one last night as well. Beautiful hit. beautiful swing, rounded the bases, came home. He does this little skip across,
Mhm.
first first foot hit. He tried to toe tap his second foot like a wide receiver. All's fine and dandy. Home run. Call it. Called it. We're all good. Pitcher gets ready to throw to the next batter. Umpire tells him to throw down. Catcher steps on home plate. You're out. What? 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 Russo, you got some photo evidence for me, my man.
Good. I got the facts because you hit me with this before the show. I had to look it up. And when I looked it up, I mean, I was just appalled at what I found, dog. Let me take a look. You tell me what that says. You kidding me right now? Are you kidding?
Bro, bro, that foot is smack dab in the middle of home
I don't
plate.
know how else you missed that.
Bro, Blue was standing right here. He was right behind home plate.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It really is. And that's a whole problem of itself because not only are they doing nonsense like this and where you're not going to instant replay it, you're not going to go look back at it. Okay, then get new umpires. Please. Please and thank you.
I'm all against the robotic umps. They can't seem to make a case for themselves. So I don't know what you want all other people to stick up for you. I get it's a tough job. Do your job better.
Yeah.
You have.
There's been multiple in the MLB. There's been multiple with the Yankees game against Boston. It was completely outside. And I saw you go on your Twitter. Yep, it was terrible.
That was 4.55 inches. That missed outside. Should have been ball four to load the bases in the bottom of the ninth.
Yep.
You cannot miss that call. It can't happen. It cannot happen.
Somebody has to go down to that umpire and tell him, like, listen, you fucked that up. Like,
Phil Nevin tried. The Yankees' third base coach tried. Aaron Boone sat his ass in the dugout. And then after Phil Nevin, and I'm sorry, I forget the other coach's name, got ejected, then he decided to come out and was like, what happened?
I saw it.
After Aaron Boone did not come out with any intensity after that, you could see the looks in their faces. They were dead.
Yeah.
Dead. From the moment they went to extra innings, you knew the Red Sox were going to win that right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Bro, it's disgusting stuff out of the umpire.
It have to be better. Have to be better.
Have to be better. A little bit of brighter news. Tyler Zombro, the Rays AAA pitcher, the Durham Bulls, who was hit in the head by the line drive. One of the most horrific things I've seen in baseball. Fell down, started having convulsions. He finally left the hospital today. He was fully discharged, good health. Can't wait to see him back on the field.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Good news. Good news as well. The 2021 Hall of Fame inductee ceremony is set. It will actually have fans in attendance, limited, but some fans will get to see Marvin Miller. Marvin Miller, Ted Simmons, Larry Walker, and the great Derek Jeter inducted in the Hall of Fame in person. Awesome for them. The 2021 actually had no inductees, so they are the 2020 inductees. September 8th, 1:30 p.m. Can't wait for Jeter to get that call.
Yes, sir.
And the only other little bit I got is Shohei Ohtani. We're going to keep talking about him because he keeps just up in the ante that much.
Yeah.
470 feet, Russo. 470 feet.
Telling me a pitcher hit that?
Pitcher hit that.
Okay.
Longest home run of his career. Thing was gone by the time it left the pitcher's hand.
Good for Ohtani, man. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan.
Change the logo. Make it Ohtani. That's it, man. You want to kick off who's hot, who's not?
Yeah. Let's run it down. So I'll kick
it, bro.
With first one. Who's hot? Ryan Mountcastle, the Orioles. 29 bats. Yep, 7 runs, 12 hits, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, batting .414 with .433 OBP. I mean, the guy's killing it right now. Why not?
Yes, sir.
You know?
Oh, the only O's you got to worry about are the four M's: Mancini, Means, Mountcastle. Who am I missing here?
Oh,
Means, Mancini, Mountcastle, Mullins.
there he is. There he is.
Mullins. Speaking of Cedric Mullins, number one on the Who's High.
Yes, sir.
12 for 20, 5 RBIs, 3 home runs, 5 walks, 0 strikeouts,
Okay.
1.880 OPS in the past week. Breaking.
Good
Breaking.
for him. Good for
It's wild to me that the O's can have these. Bro, 4 outstanding players is 4 outstanding players. John Means just hit the IL, but the fact that they can still hold one of the worst records in baseball with honestly the most amount of talent they've had in years,
yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah, that's really wild. I'll switch it up with the go to the National League with the Patrick Wisdom. He's had
Bro,
on fire. He's had 21 at bats, 6 runs, 6 hits, 4 home runs. He's had 7 RBIs, batting .286 with the .375 OBP. I mean, what more can you ask for from the guy?
dude's making a name for himself. He's going to be a household name by the time he's done with this.
Yep.
He is the first player in Major League history with 8 home runs and only 36 at bats. Wild stuff out of Wisdom.
Man's came in hot.
Oh, drop some knowledge on me. What's good, Patrick Wisdom? Come on.
What you got?
Yo, we'll keep it in the NL. We talked about his teammate, Ryan McMahon, who's actually on the not list this week. Let's go Raimel Tapia of the Colorado Rockies. Almost batting 500. He's 13 for his last 28, 5 RBIs, 7 runs. He's got 6 doubles and only 2 strikeouts.
Okay.
So when we talked about Ryan McMahon being an all-star. When your sluggers and your all-stars start to get into a little cold streak, start to slow down a little bit, you got to have it pick up by these other guys. So Raimel Tapia, good feel.
Yeah, for sure. And
Man.
I'll end my third one with Gleyber Torres. 23 at bats, 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, batting .391 with .423 OBP. And the
Let's go, Gleyber.
guy's been coming up big, coming up hot, time and needed, especially when they're losing a lot right now. And so let's hope he can pick it up for the rest of the team.
Man, I hope so. And it's not just against O's, so everybody can shut it. Oh, we'll throw a pitcher in here. Last one for the Who's Hot list. Framber Valdez. You got to give it to him. Over his last 14 innings pitched, he's got 18 strikeouts. He's 2-0 in the past week over those 2 starts. The .84 whip. He only got 2 earned runs and only 2 walks. Man's on fire right
Oh, good for him. Okay.
Yeah, bro. He's hot. Excuse me. Like the rest of them, we got a few honorable mentions. Brandon Crawford is on fire right now. He's pretty much been the whole season. Became the most tenured giant shortstop in their history. So congrats to B. Craw. Jesse Winker, Justin Upton, and Walker Buehler all had extremely good weeks. So just to get their names in there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, bro.
We'll switch it right over into the who's not list. And I gotta kick it off right back to the Yankees, man. Aaron Judge. And I mean, listen, the stats aren't too bad. 24 at bats, 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. But he's only batting .208 with 5 strikeouts. And I mean, like I said, it's not bad, but it's the fact that he's going to be on my list because the Yankees are hurting so bad right now. And
they need him.
He's their best player. That he has to step up. He can't be batting .208.
I completely agree. The Yankees want, especially with Gleyber made the hot list. Gleyber's been extremely streaky. With everybody else being so inconsistent, Luke Voit back on the IL, you need Aaron Judge to be his best 90% of this season.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he's been good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting him on the not list because he absolutely sucks. But I'm saying as the best player on the Yankees, he needs to do more.
In times of need, especially.
Exactly.
Yeah. I completely agree. Let's kick it over to a team who's not in a team of need. They're division rivals, the team that swept them for the first time since 2011, Boston Red Sox and Bobby Dahlbeck.
Right.
One for his last 22. That one was a home run, so he's at least got that to show for it. Bro, he's got one walk to 11 strikeouts in the past week.
Yikes.
That's, yeah, big yikes from Dahlbeck.
Where's
Got to have more plate discipline.
Yeah,
Can't
definitely
be
for sure.
happening. Can't be happening. He's got a 269 OPS the past week. Not what you want to see.
Dude, you want to talk about not what you want to see? Jackie Bradley Jr. is not what you want to see, dog. Okay.
He's back.
He's back on the list. He's had one hit in 3 games. His last 7 games, he's had 16 at-bats, 1 run, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, batting 188. My guy.
Dude.
My guy.
Dude.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy was pretty good with the Red Sox a couple years ago.
Pretty good. Showed glimmers of hope, I guess, on the Brewers, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's just – it's not looking good for him, I'll tell you that much.
Not looking good. I hope for his sake he doesn't end back on the – I think he's the only player we're talking about on the Who's Not list that hasn't listened to Russo's playbook and go, yo, fuck those guys. I'm getting hot.
Yo, facts.
Bro, let's see if this guy can do it. Javi Baez.
Okay.
Where you at? 2 for his last 20. He's got 1 home run. He's not walking at all. 0 walks to 9 strikeouts, 350 OPS, and he remains the strikeout leader in the MLB. He's up to 89, I want to say, 89, 90.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of strikeouts. That's got to stop.
Yeah, that's – I mean, listen, we talked about the pitchers, but that's a little too much. That's really – I don't think
That's a lot.
pitchers there.
The Cubs are going to intrigue me for the next month or so. Until we hit this trade deadline, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Chris Bryant's supposedly been talked about being traded for the past couple of years. Is it going to happen in the contract year? And what do you do now that the Cardinals are sliding and you're sitting in first place? Do you sell and abandon hopes as a playoff contender this year? Or do you buy back in, get a couple guys, and then let Chris either walk at the end of the season, bring him back? They could go one of 15 different ways right now, and I'm intrigued to see what they do as a Cardinals fan.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. But I'll keep moving my last one. So I got David Peralta, the Diamondbacks. I mean, they got 17 at-bats, 1 run, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, batting 118.
Ooh,
It's been bad for Peralta out there.
that doesn't sound good. The whole Diamondbacks as a whole, I think they still own the worst league the worst record in the league. We talked about on Sunday. It's hard to win when your 1 and 2 are out. Zach Gallen, Madison Bumgarner, both not there. But you got to find ways to win ball games. It's disgusting stuff out of Arizona.
Yeah, it's not looking good over there.
No, man. And to wrap it up, like we talked about when we were talking about Raimel Tapia and the Colorado Rockies, Ryan McMahon is on a little bit of a skid right now. He's 2 for his last 16. He's only got 2 RBIs, striking out 7 times with only 1 walk. He's got a 292 OPS. So we go from talking all-star to if he continues this pace and keeps this up, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Now, and like we did with the Who's Hot, we got a few honorable mentions. Joey Wendell and Kevin Kiermaier have slowed down quite a bit. Not enough to knock the Rays out of the top spot of the power rankings, which we're going to get into in a second. And Chris Davis. That experiment is over.
Yeah.
He was designated for assignment today. That would be the most Yankee move ever, to go out and get Chris Davis. Slugger who hasn't hit, like you talked about a couple weeks ago, Edwin Encarnacion.
Yeah.
It's such a Yankees move. We'll see. But that experiment's over in Texas.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good regardless.
Oakland, excuse me.
Yeah. But what's up? Let's move to your power rankings.
Yeah. Well, let's get into injuries real quick. I forgot to do them before again.
Listen,
Injuries.
we got so into the pitching shit. I got lost in
Got us all pissed off. I'm bothered over here. Leave my boy Gerrit alone.
it.
Couple news, couple updates with the injuries. Jack Flaherty is expected to potentially miss into the All-Star break with that oblique. He denies it. He refuses to comment on it. We'll see, but potentially missing their ace until the All-Star game. Speaking of ace, you remember Chris Sale, Russo?
Yes, sir.
Bro, threw a solid bullpen session the other day. He's hoping to make it back for the Red Sox playoff stretch, end of the season stretch, and keep them in it as a contender.
Oof. That could be. Listen, if he comes back right, that could be a nice little piece going into the playoffs.
Could be scary. As a Yankees fan, I'm not worried. He's a dinosaur. He's had 15 surgeries. But I'll give it to him. That bullpen session looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, and you never know, man. Especially on a playoff run, he might come back with some fire.
Bro, you never know. Look at what the Dodgers did with David Price.
Yeah.
Move him to the bullpen. Now you got a super reliable setup man / middle reliever.
Exactly.
Bro, I'm not scared, but I'd love to see Chris Sale back in the league. Good for him. Aldamas Diaz of the Astros out 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured left hand. Adalberto Mondesi, that's my favorite name to say, Adalberto. He's on the 10-day IL with the pulled hammy, and Paul DeYoung is expected back later this week for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Hey, okay.
And that's it for me for injuries. You want to just run over the power rankings real quick?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get it, man. Staying at number 1 was the Tampa Bay Rays. We talked about a couple other stars, Joey Wendell, Kevin Kiermaier, not up to expectations. Not a problem. Yankees suck. Red Sox are still right there. So Rays still the best record in the league. Still number 1.
Yeah.
Right, like just we were talking about, Boston Red Sox, number 2. Not going anywhere. Still right by, they're a game and a half back behind the Rays, I want to say. They're not going anywhere. They're one of those teams who are going to win the division. Other teams going to win a wild card spot. That's the way it's going to be. If the Yankees want to be serious, they got to knock one of those two off.
Yeah, they got to step it up.
Got to step it up.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, exactly. The next two are back-to-back Sands. 3 is the Giants, 4 is the Padres.
Yep.
Both of them still rocking. Evan Longoria is out, I think, 6 to 8 after colliding with Brandon Crawford in the outfield. Huge loss, but you talked about Kevin Gausman the other day on the pod. Johnny Cueto, Dave Scalafani, all still pitching well. Giants still the dogs sitting at 3 in the power rank.
Yeah. Dude, I wouldn't have thought of this, man.
But I don't think Giants fans would have expected. I saw this picture going around of them in the dugout the other day, and it was Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, a couple other Brandon Belt, and they said you could have taken this exact picture in 2012.
That's wild.
Nuts. Rounding out the top 5, like I said, Padres at 4, and then the White Sox at 5. Not a huge move. White Sox stay. Padres drop 2 from the 2 spot. Not a whole lot of movement inside the top 5. But that's it for the fucking power rankings, man.
Yeah, that'll wrap up the power rankings. You can find that on russosplaybook.com. You can find this episode on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Our social media is at Russo's Playbook. John?
Hey, man, that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit all those socials. And thank you guys for joining again.
Sir, see you again next week.